Mimas icy moon no more. Antarctica military contractor claims Earth is a Death Star. After the publication of close-up images of the Mimas satellite, many noticed that the planet strongly resembles Death Star from Star Wars, about which a whole conspiracy theory has appeared. Over time, most of us somehow forgot about Mimas, and in the secret Death Star, conspiracy theorists began to suspect the moon, on which there is inscribed incredible ufology activity, despite the fact that the negative effect of moonlight on people has long been well known. However, it seems that the Death Star is actually much closer than we think, because such a device is the planet Earth itself, this person claims. Very interesting, ambiguous information on this subject has appeared online, although for its understanding, a small historical introduction should be made. In 2005, around the U.S. Amundsen Scott Antarctic Station, they began to build a neutrino observatory called IceCube. Remember that. The principle of the operation of the observatory is similar to all high-energy particle detectors, which monitor flashes of photons of Cherenkov radiation when water atoms collide with particles. But if traditional devices use water as a catching screen, then IceCube uses ice as a recorder into which a network of wells with sensors is drilled. When neutrinos and other similar particles fly through the thickness of this ice, light sensors register collisions of particles with water molecules, after which the computer builds a picture of arrival, calculating where it came from, what and how much. Officially, the observatory monitors neutrino streams from galaxies far, far away. However, as this Raytheon contractor says in his report to senators, everything is slightly a bit different there as it seems. Eric Hecker worked as a mid-level engineer at the station around 2010. When the station was still under construction, there were about 5,000 sensors with an ice screen volume of about a cubic kilometer. Nowadays, this facility is way larger. The Eiffel Tower looks like a little matchstick against the background of the structure. Hecker did not receive all the information on IceCube, but from what he saw, he understood that it monitors distant galaxies only with its left eye and only occasionally. The main work of the device is tracking all vehicles flying in the Earth's atmosphere, around the Earth, and in near space. IceCube sees not only every plane and every satellite, they all emit neutrinos, but also alien craft. Okay? Also alien craft. It turns out that there are not only sensors inside the IceCube. This device is also capable of generating a beam of high energy from incomprehensible radiation, capable of shooting down large alien ships, and at a small fraction of a percentage of its power, this beam can also hit the lithosphere, causing earthquakes and other natural disasters. Or is it, as it were, a recoil when struck by a wondrous weapon? At the cannon, after the shot, the carriage rolls back, and at the Death Star into which the planet Earth has been turned, the lithosphere swells, hurricanes arise, and so on. It's hard to say how close this is to the truth. However, you may notice the following. The hearing is not in a pub in front of people in foil hats, but in front of senators. Eric Hecker announces a terrible state secret for the issuance of which he will be presumably hunted down as he talks about a forbidden topic. Nevertheless, and although it's 10 years later, he suddenly spoke. This suggests that he received a command from the upper management to do this. All platforms where the original video was uploaded do spread the news with an amazing buzz speed, especially the Chinese, although they usually love all dirt about U.S. government insidious conspiracies, from which China intends to save the world as usual. I'm being, of course, sarcastic here. Some rays began to indeed shine over Antarctica, most likely a consequence of grand scientific experiment for which there were even mentions in the press. The attention of millions of conspiracy theorists is riveted to the poles, in particular to the Anders Scott South Pole Station, where there are even webcams. And according to the general opinion, everything there is actually something like this. The man in the video tells the truth, but not the whole truth. The whole truth lies in the fact that a long time ago, an alliance was conducted between the global government and the aliens, which is shown in general terms in the Colony series. The aliens are waiting for the approach of the ships of a competing company, so they strained humans with the construction of the Death Star, and along the way, extraterrestrials taught humans to build hefty spacecraft that have long been secretly plowing the solar system, building colony forts on Mars, and waiting for the arrival of guests from outer space who will undoubtedly endure all this, since the technologies there are slightly different, and little green men for this race, something like rebellious vassals. And since the space battles are on the way, people began to gradually attach themselves to world affairs so that countries and people understand what is what, at least in general terms. When the Death Star, quote-unquote, will be orbitally bombarded and turned into Mimas 2.0, no one knows for sure, but everyone thinks that it could be soon. This is a lot of science fiction, of course. This is on Solask. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.